All right, layering. I know a lot of people have struggle with this because they're like, I don't know, I feel like I look bulky, or I don't know exactly what to pair with what, or I'm gonna show you some absolute easy basics that'll kind of get you through the whole layering season. Here's what you want to always start with. Always start with your base. So right here I grabbed a mustard just because it's kind of a fun color, and right now season wise it goes with it, but grab a nice base and you're going to pull it all the way down just like I do with all my tank tops, but then you're going to scrunch it up eventually, kind of just seeing where it's going to hit, okay? And then you grab your first official layer, which is usually something long. It's going to go from longest to shortest. That's a very huge key in layering, okay? That goes with sleeves, that goes with the body, that goes with everything, even with the highest collar, longest everywhere. You want to start with that being your base. So right now, this is going to be our longest layer. So we're going to just keep adding, and I'm going to show you how you're going to look layered easily and put together without feeling super bulky. I mean, obviously it's layers. You're going to, but it's a good way to stay warm and cute and look like you know what you're doing. So our next layer is for the first little bit, stick with the same necklines as well. You can definitely mix and match necklines. I'm not saying you can't, but just for my newbies, stick with the same neckline. So as this is a V-neck right here, my sweater is a V-neck as well. So we're gonna throw this sweater, and there is no blue in this sweater, I am aware, but it is, again, similar color, similar family, and since that's why we popped a little bit of that mustard to kind of pull in this mustard. It does not have to be the exact same mustard at all. Again, it kind of gives it a fun, cool feel. If you're a little OCD, throw a green, you know, you could match it a little bit more if you wanted, but you don't have to. That's the best part about layering, is it's like one big amazing accident. Huge part is pull your sleeves out from the next layer. Always, I always want to see each layer as a separate, okay? So you're gonna make sure in every, you know, wherever it's coming from, you're gonna see all the layers that you could see. Obviously the tank top doesn't have sleeves, so we're not gonna worry about that. The tank top is just gonna be just a peek of that, okay? So it's gonna go layer to layer to layer. And here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make sure whenever you do layers, just like how my jacket is right now, you're gonna kind of cuff them over top a little bit just to make it, this almost makes it look uniform, like this was supposed to be together. If you kind of just leave it hanging, it almost gives a little disconnect, but if you cuff them and kind of put them all together, it almost makes it look like it was all supposed to be there. Like, oh, these were meant to be together. So let's just cuff these babies, and then you don't even notice the disconnect from them. And then you're gonna make sure any sort of extra stuff, you kind of just tuck in. There's a button there, obviously, with that type of thing. So see how you see this, you see all the layers come kind of together. So now we're gonna get a little bit more intense here, and we're gonna throw a jacket with it. Now this is an oversized jacket. You want to make sure it obviously fits over each piece. But this way, I don't know about you guys, but when I go into a restaurant, it is so cold and you're literally like, it is 90 degrees out. Why is it snowing in here? So I am constantly layering because there's always a chance I'm going to get too hot or I'm going to get too cold. So if you have layers on, you can always make sure you're good for wherever you're going. Again, look at me. I'm pulling these sleeves out and I'm cuffing this one. So we're gonna see all the layers everywhere we are, okay? So you're gonna see that. You can kind of, if you wanna see a cute little green part, pull it up. If you just wanna see like the little bit of the yellow, that's fine too. But the key is you wanna see every layer when you layer, with the sleeves and the bottom. Do you see how I still see the tank, I see the top, and I see the sweater? And then we're gonna cuff this. Again, cuff according to how you would like to be seen. And then since this has a collar, you kind of pull that collar there. And you've got a perfectly polished, layered look. Again, it's not matchy-matchy, but if you go with the streamline, so this is obviously always kept open. The last layer I always pretty much keep open, whether that is one of my big sweaters, depending on obviously the fit of it all too. But I would say the last layer I always keep open, and then just making sure it goes from biggest to smallest and then over top. So can't wait to see some before and afters too, so email me those.